Back everybody. Today I want to go over images and HTML5 pictures, so you can actually see something fun and visual more than just text elements. Um, Normally, you're just going to use images, the image tag img, and inside there's an attribute called src, which stands for source, and that's where you write the path to the image file that you want to include on your website. So we just want to include this. I have a folder inside my web server called images, and inside the images you can see a whole bunch of different photos that I've created and put in here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to show an image, and so we come over here and we get our little cat, and there's a nice little box there. So all it is that's how you display an image. It's just an img tag. Now, say for instance you misname this and accidentally use the JPEG file instead of a PNG file, which it isn't going to find that file because it's not over here on your web server. But if you were to do that, you're going to get this blank image tag. Well, normally it's a good idea to always write an alt attribute. This way, if you forget and you misname something or the file gets moved, then it'll tell the user what the image was of. So that's what the alt tag does. There's other attribute tags you can add into these to make them more useful, more SEO friendly, which is search engine optimization. But for now, let's just cover the basics. Source and alt tags are normally what you use the most. I'm going to change this back. Now, if you have your path right and it does not show the image and you're getting that default box, there's a couple things to check. One is to make sure your path is 100% correct. There's a difference between this and a slash at the beginning. If you're using this as a relative URL, it's going to go from wherever this page is. In this instance, it should work just fine. There's no difference here. But if we were inside another folder, say we were to create a new folder and go just test here. Throw it in the test folder, grab all these, and move it in here real quick. So we're not going to have a page here. We can go to the test, and we see our image file still works, because what it's doing is it's looking for a test file. It's looking for the image file inside this image folder relative to this index file. Now, if I was to put a slash in front of this, then it's going to look from the root of the HTML document root, which is where we had it originally. So if we put slash here, we're going to lose our file. And so you need to make sure you're in the root folder. So if we were to move these images, if we were to grab these images and move them all back into this root folder, it would find it again. So depending on your needs is to how you need to label that. You'll learn a little bit more about that the more you use images. It's not something to worry about too much. Just know that this is how you do an image tag, and these reference the different folders within your folder structure over here on your web server, and this is the image file itself. If the image file, let's say, was put in here, you could get rid of that part and it would still show up. So I'm going to move everything back to how it was originally. And there we have that. Get rid of that extra folder. See, now we've deleted that extra folder, moved our HTML page back to its original location. Now, if you have everything right on this and it's still not showing up, something to keep in mind is you want to look at your image permissions. and make sure that the world can read these files. If they cannot read these files, like say I take away that permission on, oops, I did it on, let's cancel that. Let's do it on the one we're actually working on here. So if I was to come in here and say, hey, the world does not have access to read this, then you're going to get a blank image here. So that's something to keep an eye on. You want to make sure that the user has adequate permissions. Okay, now we got permission back. And the same thing goes for the folder. If the folder has different permissions, then it's going to change. So that takes care of displaying a regular image. The next thing I just want to cover real briefly is HTML5 Pictures. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to adjust the picture for different different media. So if I'm on a phone or I'm on a different thing, you can have it switch the pictures for you. This is really neat, and it will become more useful in the future, but a lot of the content management systems do not adjust for this at the current time. Oops, this is supposed to be. Okay. So here you can see it's going to switch between 3 different images. We got our full cat picture, then we got our tablet picture, and then you have your mobile picture. And so you can switch it based on the width of your browser. And all this is it's a media query just to see how wide your browser is at. And based upon the width of the browser as to which image it's going to choose. And as you can see the default picture down here at the bottom. So this is the picture tag. It's HTML5. I recommend using it. It's pretty cool. Some other things you can do with it is you can also switch based on the orientation. So whether you're in landscape mode, portrait mode, on your different devices is to what you're going to see. Because I'm recording on my computer right here, it's a little harder to show you these, but that's the different portrait mode and all that. Now if we were to change it to landscape, let's see if this works. Yep, there it goes. So now I'm in a landscape layout and you can see the different pictures. Whereas if you're in portrait, squeeze this in a little bit, you can see the different portrait pictures. So that is image and picture tags. I hope this is something a little more fun than just text, and hope this helps. Catch y'all later.